What's going on, everyone? So, Rob Pelinka has reiterated on several occasions this offseason that the goal is to win an NBA championship, and in particular, specifically with Luka Doncic and LeBron James, that he believes with those two, they can lead the charge and put themselves in a position to win an NBA championship this season. And the goal is that they're trying to win an NBA championship every season, right? You hear Rob and the Lakers, it's always about the championship and this is the Lakers and blah, blah, blah. But this season in particular, you've seen Rob specifically talk about how, hey, we have Luka Doncic, we have LeBron James, and those two as our leaders are going to be able to push us into the promised land. You're getting the reports that the Lakers are supposed to be aggressive on the trade front and leading into the trade deadline. We've gotten several reports about that. Yes, the Lakers, there's reports to kind of want to hang back and see and observe, okay, how are things going to go? How are things going to play out, right? Like, what about Gabe Vincent? What about Max Kleber? So on and so forth, right? But in the end, it's up to Rob Pelinka to hold up his end. Now, look, there's nothing there. No trade is better than a bad trade. We got to stay patient. I want to be clear about that. Right? Rob Pelinka, his patience has paid off. He's done a really good job about being patient, especially earlier in his tenure. He was not great in the patience department. Right, you saw a lot of times he'd kind of take one, the first trade that was available, or overpay for a trade or something. Right, which I don't mind if a team overpays for a trade if it's justified and warranted. I don't like seeing teams just overpay for trades just to overpay for trades. Right, like the Mark Williams or the failed Mark Williams trade. That one, for example, that one made sense to have to overpay for. Right, but if we're just overpaying, like Andrew Wiggins right now, I'm okay with Rob Pelinka not pulling the trigger on that trade, right? Don't go rush the gun for that because it's not a trade that by itself, I think really puts us completely over the top, right? Maybe we get into the season, guys start really stepping up and it's like, man, if we just we're clearly an Andrew Wiggins away from a trade, then you make the trade. Then if you have to overpay, now it's justified, right? But like right now you look at it, it's like, okay, we could use a starting level 3, probably use another kind of athletic two-way guard. We could probably use a backup center, right? There's a couple things in particular. How is the bench scoring? The Lakers bench scoring last year was atrocious, right? Do you need a Malik Monk or something like that, right? Right now, on the surface, the Lakers look like they are 2, 3, 4 pieces away. I think realistically, they're probably about a high-end piece to 2 kind of mid-tier pieces away from being potentially the best team in basketball, right? But also, who knows? This is the first season that we have Luka and LeBron James for a full season. Right? Last year, they kind of got thrown in the mix. You're missing half, a roster, right? You have no center. It's awkward. You're kind of thrown into the mix. Now you're going to have a full offseason, a full training camp, full preseason to kind of get everything right, get everything together, get everything in order, kind of figure out the chemistry elements, figure out how do we want to run our offense? How do we want to run our defense? What is our starters? All of us are kind of thinking like it's going to be Luka, Austin Reeves, Rui, LeBron, and DeAndre Ayton. But what if it's not? Right? Like, what if JJ ends up making the tough calls and the tough decisions? I don't think so. I think Austin Reeves is at least starting. Maybe Rui comes off the bench. But again, we don't know. We're all assuming that that's how it's going to play out and that's what's going to happen. A lot of that is educated assumptions, right? But still, like, we don't know how training camp's going to play out, right? What if Jake LaRavia is just undeniable in training camp and it's like, okay, let's see how he looks starting. So let's start him the first summer league game and he's just killing it. And it's like, yeah, this is our starter, right? Is JJ going to hinder what the best version of this team could be because of it, or Rob Pelinka, right? It's very possible because you got to keep in mind, there's a lot of times, not just Lakers stances, but stances period, right? Where organizations will tell you, hey, we need you to start this guy. right? Whether it's for trade purposes or, contract purposes or whatever. Right? Like if Rob Pelinka's actively in trade conversations for Rui Hachimura, then Rui Hachimura is probably going to have to start, even if Jake LaRavia, Jared Vanderbilt, or Marcus Smart are the better options, right? Because you don't want to, now he comes off the bench, it's like, oh, well, I guess he's not a starter for you, especially if Rob's trying to do that. So, again, we have to kind of gauge and see. I'm okay with the Lakers kind of figuring some stuff out. Every year, us from a fan perspective, we've been privileged in a lot of ways of just greatness, right? And so we have this level of expectation. We have this level of, you need to deliver. We don't play for conference finals. We don't play for in-season tournaments. We play for NBA championships, hanging those banners. We play for the Larry O Brien, and that's that. Right? And we should have those expectations, but we can't lose ourselves in said expectations, right? We have to understand and allow things to kind of present itself. Look, I know I talk a lot about trades and possibilities, stuff like I say it all the time. I am nothing more than a fan. I'm not some insider. I'm not some, guru. I am a fan that has been blessed enough to have people that click on my videos and watch them. That's all it is. This is a fan channel. We have fun conversations. Sometimes they might be a little ridiculous. Sometimes they might be realistic. I mean, I've had trades. I did a Luka video and people told me I was insane. And Tyler, this is why, I'm unsubscribing. Blah. And fast forward, Luka's a Laker, right? And all those people like, oh, yeah, now you look silly, right? Like, again, I get it. I want and have expectations as well, right? I want and have those needs, but I say in all those trade videos, be patient, let things develop, right? I reiterate over and over, and I'll even get comments from time to time like, why do you say certain things over and over and over? Because I really want people to understand. I really want people to hit on it. Not just that, but not everyone watches all the videos. Not I'm constantly getting new viewers, right? So there's several reasons, but I also really want to get across how important it is to preach patience, right? We as a fan base, as Laker fans, can be very impatient, but patience, I think, is key, particularly for this season, right? This season is so important, or this off-season, training camp, is so important on several levels, right? One, how does Luka and Reeves look like? Big decision to make on Austin Reeves. How does Luka and LeBron look like, right? Big decision on LeBron James next year, right? You have several potential foundation pieces, where we have so on and so forth. Like, what guys are going to be a part of the future beyond the season? But the biggest element of it is the Luka Doncic, this being the first season with the Lakers, like full season, training camp, off season, all of that. This is the first time that we're actually going to get to figure out and carve out, how do we want this roster? How do we want this team? How do we want our offense? How do we want our defense to look alongside Luka as our engine? Obviously, all the various players over the years are going to come and go, and we're going to have different iterations of this team. And, half this team that's here now is probably not going to be here in a year or two, right? I get all of that. But you need to know, like, what are we looking for? How are we looking for it? How do we want to run Luka as the primary offense? Are we going to have times where he's more off ball? Are we cutting down his usage? Are we raising his usage? Like, all of these things are going to have to be implemented. I'm okay with the Lakers taking their time, see how does this look? What kind of guys look into it? And we all have an idea on what we should have and what we need. But even guys like DeAndre, how does DeAndre Ayton and Luka look like, right? To bring it back around to the trade elements, right? I want to trade. We all want trades. But I also feel like we get lost in trades at times. Again, I know I'm talking about trades regularly, but again, they're fun conversations. There's a difference between having a dialogue, having a conversation, exploring potential ideas, and demanding, like, oh my God. Like, again, there's nothing wrong with wanting that greatness, expecting that greatness, as we should, as Rob should be held to that standard. All of that. But we need to allow things to naturally take its course. Talked about. If we traded for DeAndre Ayton, Marcus Smart, Jake LaRavia, right? If we traded for these guys, what would be the conversation? Oh my God, Lakers are the best team in basketball. If any team in the league, any team, pick a team. If any team got Luka Doncic and DeAndre Ayton, the number 1 and number 3 pick in the same draft, if any team got DeAndre Ayton and Luka Doncic in a, 5-6 month span, if that, might even be fewer than that. But let's call it a 5-month span just to be safe. If any team got those two guys in 5-month span, everybody would be talking about how that team is the NBA champions. Oh my God, get out of the way, blah, 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 blah. I mean, people were ready to crown the Phoenix Suns. I made videos on here. I made videos on my sports channel. I have probably not been more right about a team ever in my life than I was the Phoenix Suns. I mean, I came on and it was like, that team is going to be a disaster. And I don't know why more people don't see it. And everybody and their mother was like, oh my God, they're taking out billboards. Tyler's an idiot. Phoenix Suns hand them the championship. Oh, Tyler, you don't know ball. I was getting reamed. Pause. Right? One of us was right. I wear my crown for that one, right? And the thing is, though, is again, paper doesn't always you need the proper fits. You need there's so many things that go on. As Laker fans, we should know that. As Laker fans, we should know that it's not as simple as just throwing names on the back of the jerseys. I mean, I'm old enough to remember Steve Nash, Metta World Peace, Pau Gasol, Dwight Howard, Kobe Bryant. And that team was a disaster. Disaster. Right? Again, we have to allow things to take its course. And we can get lost in the sauce of it all. And again, I get it. If we traded for any of these guys, the perceived expectation for the Lakers would be completely different. The Lakers got the best center that they possibly could have gotten via trade, free agency, you name it. What center better than DeAndre Ayton could the Lakers have realistically traded for? I was a huge Walker Kessler guy. I still am. I'd still love Walker Kessler. DeAndre Ayton's better than Walker Kessler. Right? Who is it? Nick Richards, Nick Claxton, right? Daniel Gafford. Who's better that the Lakers realistically could have gotten than DeAndre Ayton? You couldn't design a better center in a lab than DeAndre Ayton for Luka Doncic. And people are like, yeah, trash. But if we traded for him, the media, the fans, you name it, would all be screaming the same thing. The NBA is rigged. Oh my God. Everyone just helps the Lakers. We always hear, right? I said it before, I'll say it again. I give it 20 games. I don't even think it'll be that long. I give it 20 games. And all of a sudden we'll start to hear oh, Lakers have a super team. How much help does LeBron need? How much? When right now people are saying that the Lakers are trash. Okay, we'll see. Maybe they are. Again, I've been wrong before. As right as I was about Phoenix, I've been incredibly wrong before. Right? It happens. Part of it goes, right? You have good takes, you have bad takes, you have in-between takes. I have stuff that, I'm like, man, wish I could have taken that one back, right? And then you have the ones where you're like, that was fantastic. That aged incredibly well, right? it's part of the territory, right? But look, I obviously want the Lakers to win an NBA championship. I believe the Lakers can win an NBA championship. It does rest, kind of bring everything full circle. It does rest on the back of LeBron James and Luka Doncic, right? Which is what Rob Pelinka has been trying to hit home on, right? And he's right. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Else but not, if you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.